Okay, class, settle down, settle down. Jimmy, shut up. Pay attention. Eyes up here, okay? In front of you, you have today's quiz. Focus on it. Do your best, okay? And no sharing answers, no cheating. I see some of you over there looking at your neighbor's homework, okay? None of that today. Okay, teacher. All right. Hey, fool. What's the answer to number 7? Shh. Teacher said no copying. Yo, man, just let me have a little peek. Dude, get out of here. I'm just trying to do my work. Vosteed, you better cut that shit out. I see what you're doing over there. Man, you little snitch. I'm gonna see you after school. What's going on, guys? The Real Sharif M here, aka Mangana Steel. Excuse me. We have another video today about a Vosteed. And if you're wondering why there were back-to-back Vosteed reviews, well, basically it's because I got a couple of them in a pass-around group, and I wanted to review them and make sure I took a good look at them, and then sent them off. What's going on, everybody? Sharif here in editing mode, and as you can see, I'm editing the video right now. But there was a bit of a longer section before this portion of the video, and I decided to cut it out. And the reason why is because what follows, I think, is such an important thing to kind of call out, that all of the stuff that I said previously in this video was kind of a waste of time, for lack of a better way of putting it. I know you guys have limited time checking out these videos, and I wanted to retain your attention and bring your attention to the critique that follows right now after this little interlude. And I want to make sure that you guys see it, see what I'm talking about, and understand the importance of it. So please understand, this is not going to end up being like a full traditional review, and stick around for what follows, because I think it's bullshit, and I think you guys should see it first and foremost. But I take another series of issues with this knife. Like, okay, if you just want to evaluate it as is, you don't care about anything else, it's not a bad knife, really. What I do want to talk about, though, that I think is a big issue with this knife, and I don't think anybody has called it out as aggressively as I'm about to call this out. But this handle right here is damn near a one-to-one copy of the Giant Mouse Ace Sonoma. And cue the picture on screen. I overlaid these two on top of one another, and the only area that's even slightly different is this curved back right here, this curving right in the spine of the handle towards the blade, and this frontal area ahead of the pivot. Those are only two parts that are changed, but literally the curvature of the handle, the lines for the rear, everything is a one-to-one copy, which really, I understand appropriating designs, taking inspiration from other people's designs, but this is a little too close for comfort. Now, granted, it's also bigger than the Ace Sonoma. I had it. This is the Ace Sonoma. This little peak right here would hit right about in the middle of my finger, and I talked about it in one of my previous videos about Giant Mouse. This is a bit more comfortable for my hand, I'm not gonna lie. But just because you scale it up doesn't change the fact that this is literally like a 98% or 95% copy of the Ace Sonoma handle. The other part that, immediately felt weird to me was that the lines for the blade didn't really match up. And the second I saw that blade, I said, wow, that really looks like a Ray Laconico blade shape, actually. And funny enough, I have my Monterey Bay Knives old guard right here. And if you line up the two, one on top of the other, let me see if I can do this for the camera. But they're damn near identical. Honestly, let me see if I can get the tips. Yeah, there you go. They're damn near identical. Let me flip it around for you guys so you can see it again from the other side. There we go. You don't see one blade showing out or shifting from the other one because it is the exact same blade. The only difference between the two, if you look at them closely, is the flat grind goes a little bit higher on the Raccoon. You can see it right here, whereas on the Laconico, it's just a little bit lower. But otherwise, it's exactly the same blade. So it's an Ace Sonoma handle with a Ray Laconico old guard blade, essentially. Which, I don't know, it really rubs me the wrong way, personally. And especially because the old guard is a phenomenal knife in its own right. And because it's a Ray Laconico, the lines and every detail run cohesively into one another, and it makes sense as a totality of design. This doesn't feel as design, language-wise resolved. And there's a reason for that, because it took the design language of two completely different sets of designers and merged them into one product. And I don't like seeing stuff like this. It's happened to me, actually. I had somebody steal one of my blade shape designs and then put it on a different handle, and, they called it a new knife. And honestly, I don't care if this burns bridges for me, but I'm going to call this shit out when I see it. And this is very obvious to me, So for me, while, it's up to you how to spend your money, I would never spend money on this now. I don't know if they thought nobody would notice, or if they thought that would work in their advantage. But yeah, this is a no for me. And between my experience of seeing a bit of design appropriation here with the Labrador, and seeing how fundamentally poorly thought out the Valkyrie is, as you may have seen in my previous video, I'm not a Vosteed fan. I genuinely am not. I'm actually a little miffed, really, about them as a company. And all I gotta say to them, if they are watching this video, is do better. Do better, because I'm not impressed. And you don't gotta impress me, but the people who are watching this, I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, and you demand better from these companies, because, yeah, I'm done dealing with Vosteed. This is really a shame. They had an opportunity to impress me with two knives, and they let me down on both accounts. And that's pretty surprising. That's actually really surprising. I don't think I've ever been able to say that about any knife company, ever, you know? Like, I may have had, like, one bad knife here and then had positive experiences afterwards, but here are two properly assembled, well functioning, centering is all good. All the functional sort of things are mostly there. Although I'm not a huge fan of the plunge lock on the Valkyrie, but anyways, but the thinking just isn't there. Honestly, if I were you, save your money. Don't buy a Vosteed. That's my current stance. And Vosteed, if you want to redeem yourself, you feel free to reach out to me. I'm definitely down to offer constructive criticism, but yeah, I'm not impressed, and I have no idea whatsoever why there's any hype around this brand.